Okay, should we intro? What if they did the chicka chicka and then we sang?
Do you guys know how to do this? Yeah. Wow.
Have waited long and hard for this episode.
We made it.
We did it. We told them we would disown them if they didn't get on. So there was a lot of coercion and bribery and threats to get them on here. But we have done it for you guys because we love you, chitters.
The mom! Yay! One in blue, not wearing glasses. My mom, Sue. Yay. Shout out to
Sarah Sue Melton. And then, oh, I'm doing my mom, yeah. The hottie in the turtleneck is Lori Jo Garner Steele. So, check it. Sue and Laur.
So,
yeah.
That's what you will hear us refer to them as.
Are you guys nervous?
Not too much.
Not too much. Just a wee bit.
Sue's super nervous.
Don't be.
Our chitters are chill.
Just don't do it.
Okay, so speaking of meeting and knowing, the first thing that we'd like to do is have a little Sue and Laur meeting moment.
Oh.
How do we meet? Where do we meet? How do we become friends?
Oh.
Origin story.
Yeah. Oh, first, actually, though, is there anything, now it's the time, you can set the record straight. Is there anything that we've said that you wanna comment on and be like, that didn't happen, or like, and you said this, and hey.
I would probably not have you cuss.
Well,
I
meant what we, okay.
Okay. You asked, you opened that door. No, I think there are times when you hear people recollect a memory, and memory is always perspective. So from my perspective, I might be going, not quite.
Ooh. And now you know, chitters, you may getting the not quite version.
Just take everything anybody tells you really with a little bit of grain of salt. They're seeing it from their perspective.
Yeah, there you go.
True that.
I do find myself as I'm listening and cleaning the house, I talk back to you like I'm talking to you.
The very fun thing about our friendship, kind of like y'all's, is that I'll remember the big pictures, and Sue can remember places, dates, the actual people. I'm like, really? She helps me remember a lot. And the older I get, more and more.
What are friends for, am I right? Telling you your name, your husband.
It's the Sam in front. Oh, I can't carry you, but I'll carry it for you.
Oh, shout out Samwise.
Okay, now
origin
story time. Good story.
Well, we actually were just talking about that. I didn't remember the very first time. I remember the second time more.
So do you want to talk about first time?
And it was couples, the first one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Russell,
so Phil and Russ were with us.
Yeah. Because Russ was just finishing residency, and so he was looking for his first job as a family practice doc. And he was doing a scholarship program with the state of Virginia that was like a, if you work in an underserved area, then they would pay back loans per year that you did that. So we had looked all over Virginia. We'd looked in 7 different places. And then we ended up in Giles, and Giles was one of the underserved places. And the very first weekend that we interviewed, they had a little reception, I guess, at this bed and breakfast.
And I would like to know, actually, why were Lori and Philip there? Because Philip's not a doctor.
Because they were part of the who's who in Giles County.
No, seriously. We used to laugh. Sue and I have laughed about that from the minute we have become friends, in the sense of that she is not the typical doctor's wife. I am not the typical attorney.
But they were the most popular gals in Giles County.
We didn't fit the norm. We didn't fit. Good.
And we didn't want to fit them. Anyway, so we did that. We met them. Then we came back for a second interview. And that time, one of the wives had a
coffee.
Yeah, it was like a brunch at her house, and just had the
little
women
formal
there. Yeah, so it was just all the ladies there, so I could get to know some of the ladies. And Russ was off at the practice looking at
something
something.
doctor stuff.
Yeah.
Doctor stuff.
But anyway, so that time is when I got to spend more time with her.
And it was so funny because, you're supposed to be, I don't know, was there like 15, 20 people there maybe? And we kept gravitating. So it would be Sue and I and maybe a couple of others. And cackling, laughing. It was so fun. And I remember I had the same thought. I walked out going, I hope she comes because I want her to be my friend.
Oh. So you guys scoped each other out as friends. Just in the room of 20 people.
Just good vibes connecting.
Good vibes.
And then I know that after we moved there, we started doing some stuff together, but then they invited us to join the small group Bible study. Yeah, and so once we got into that, and then that was right in the middle of all of us. The two of us had a kid a year for 8 years. We tag teamed. So 1 year one of us would have, and so we
Did you guys plan it, be honest?
No. Okay. But it was the stair steps, and then you do the things, and as any friendship, it starts off just I'm going to bring you dinner because you just had a baby, or here's your diaper, or baby gift, and then I think occasionally we would go out and have dinner, but when you have little kids, that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah. So we would just get together with the kids, and
right.
The kids
And
would
Bible
play.
study was huge, a huge connector, but then as you are in groups, it starts to I feel safer with her. I can go deeper with her. I can be more real. And then I still remember probably the big one is the kids were growing up, wanting to talk. And that back then we were on the phone.
And
it was that was the one time my kids knew they could abuse me to watch television. So, yeah, can we have another TV card? Can we have another TV card? I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, so this is a fun fact, though. I don't know if you guys know this. Okay, so Lori and I are 9 months apart in age.
Oh, that's cute.
Aww.
Wait, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you two are also 9 months apart. And I had just found out that I was pregnant with Ansley right before Sophie was born. And I told Lori when I took her a meal right after Sophie was born that night, I told her that I was pregnant with Ansley. And so,
That is great. And I still remember I felt very honored because I was allowed in your mom and dad's deciding your name.
Yeah.
What?
So,
And we hadn't even told our family. She was like the first person outside of us that I told.
Did you like it? I mean, obviously, I guess.
You were like, ugh.
You weren't going to be like, Ansley.
no. And it is her name.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Fun facts.
It's the commonality of what stage of life you're in, so we had that bonding, but then just of
Doing
course
life together.
loving Jesus and being and Sue has always been the kind of friend that as I have gotten older and matured, she's the friend I need. Maybe not always the friend that, you want someone to tell you, oh, you're fine. He's such a turd. It's okay. No, she would say, well, you're not thoughtless in this. And it was, so,
I said that.
sometimes you just need that slap across the face. Like, I'm thinking my 40s movies I like,
All right.
I think too, it's that whole thing of, she was my safe place. I could
worthy.
Yeah, and I could talk with her about anything, and I knew that she would have my best interest at heart and would always be turning me back to the Lord and turning me back to getting refocused and perspective and all of that. So,
And family.
Yeah.
Because family, I think that's part of the commonality where we loved being stay-home moms.
Yeah.
I mean, and that, I still remember when I made that decision and I knew that Philip was the guy's because he wanted a stay-home mom for his kids. And I really wanted to do that. And I had a master's degree and I was in a really great career, and to be told you're going to give up on your career. And it was like, I think sometimes when you make choices that other people don't understand, they demean that choice.
Yeah.
You know, you have so much ability. Why would you be a stay-home mom? Because the thought of baking bread and reading stories to my kids and making a store in the one room and tents, that's fun.
And I wanted to do life with them. I didn't want to just hear about life with them. So, yeah. You who are young moms or who are not moms yet, remember that. You got them for 18 summers.
Right.
That's it. It's, being a stay-at-home mom, it was one of the hardest things I ever did because we homeschooled too. We homeschooled for 20 years. But it was one of the most rewarding things I ever did, and I would never trade any of it.
And I still remember you giving me this great, and see, friends do that. They give that great advice, like, wow, and that changes you. Literally, advice that changes you. So I always had a problem, and Sophie is that I love to serve. I love to do for people. I sometimes am not great at saying no. So there were times I know my family suffered because I put others first. Wrong. Family's the first ministry, but you were the one that said, you don't have to explain. Just say, I have something on the calendar. And I still remember using that many times when my youngest, Elowen, and she loved to be read to in the afternoon when kids were at school. So we would sit on the couch, and it was like I had an individual that loved to call at that time. And it was like, sorry, I got something on the calendar, or I got something to do. And I didn't have to say, reading books to your kid. What?
Carve out time for your people. Don't just wait for it to come, because it doesn't.
Also, another
The Sue with the cross stitches today for you guys. Let's circle back a little bit. Was there ever like a moment, be honest, where you were like, uh-oh, the kids aren't getting along? Or like, Sophie and Bridger, and were you ever kind of worried?
Maybe Sophie and Bridger, but I didn't worry about them because it was a boy and a girl. I think I worried more about, and you guys have heard some of the personalities of your siblings, of the girl siblings, but Sam and Luke, because you had Luke who would give everything, and then you had Sam say, I want that toy. And so I felt like it was constant. Whenever we were with them when they were little, I felt like all I did was correct Sam. I don't think I spanked him on his birthday, but I do,
Because we've heard that story.
But
I said that I deserved it. I did.
But and it was funny because it was usually my kids kind of being mean to your kids.
No.
That sounds very correct.
So have we said what Bridger had to do? I don't know if we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Because
That's why he's a big time chitter. He feels bad about the trauma that he put me through.
Dude, I can't wait to have Bridger on here, and he's gonna be like, listen here.
No.
Bridger is the one, I would say, that probably did get in trouble the most out of our family of like being mean to Sophie.
Bridger had a jar that was called the mean to Sophie jar. He was that mean. He had to have a mean
If
to
he
Sophie.
said something mean to Sophie, he had to like put a quarter in it.
I cried every day.
But Sophie was also quite provocative in the
No, I was sobbing.
come on. She egged it on. She did. So she'd say something, she'd like look at Bridger and wait for him, and he'd be like,
The other thing that was different about our families is we raised you guys almost as siblings, all of you, So
sure.
Lori would correct all the kids. I would correct all the kids, but we would train and teach as we were doing life together. And so everybody had moments.
One of our favorite stories
Not
that
correct all the kids
is the time you had to correct Sophie. Sophie, since she's been 2.5 can talk, you were like, that kid's gonna be on the stage. I mean, she would be singing and or she'd throw a tantrum, or she'd be crying, or she'd be like, they really hurt my feelings. And you're kind of going, okay,
It's hard being sensitive. It's
I know
feeling so many things.
how much is really there, and how much is your
Everything.
yes.
I assure you.
But Sophie, we've always said she was a joy in a bottle, and I watched that kid, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking about a third person. I watched you how many times we would be in a group and you were the one that would pull people in.
So
You
true.
were the one that was like, let's do something fun, let's do a game. She was usually the director of the 8. She would go, all right, guys, let's play a game, let's do charades. And then Ansley was always, and that's part of your commonality is because you are also joy in a bottle. And
She's what I would call a quiet leader. A quiet leader.
It's very true, though. Very much so. But you guys are often the ones that get the herd going.
It's true.
But Anthony, you too. You had that gifting of really hearing people. So it wasn't just the pull you in, let's have fun. It was like everybody wanted to be your friend. I mean, and I can say this as the mom with the 3 girls and 1 son. All 3 of my girls think of their sisters and you as their best friend.
Made the cut.
Yeah.
I made it.
That's the thing too. I mean, like, I think of the Steele kids as my kids. I mean, I kind of think of that it was just all of you together. And, were there hard times? Yes. But when you love and adore people, you go through the hard stuff, and you just know that you're going to come through the other side and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. So do you want to tell about Sophie's
I
mom?
punched Sue in the
I
face.
think so.
That's it.
She did. She did the wallow.
Wow.
Too many of watching her mom's 40s movie.
I don't remember though. Why did she hit you in the face? Like, what did you said to her that she was that upset?
What's funny is I don't remember exactly what happened, but she needed to apologize to somebody because she had been mean to somebody. I can't remember who it was that the incident was even between, but I was trying to get her to apologize, and she said no. So I said, "Come sit with me on the stairs for a little bit," and she said no. So anyway, but
And
it's okay.
how many minutes later did we finally
Wait, how many minutes was it?
45.
Oh my god!
It was a long time.
Tough.
Yeah, and you and your persistence about every 3 to 5 minutes. So you ready to say you're sorry to Miss Sue?
It's the quiet, persistence that'll really get you places in life. Yeah.
Quiet persistence. Sue didn't give up on her. Sue kept going.
Oh, I meant me, but that too.
Just a little blip in the.
Just a blip. And I feel like
baby
also
step.
though, don't you usually say that you didn't really have many problems after that day?
Yeah,
Was
that
You
that
have
kind
to
of
assert your dominance.
true?
That's kind of a turning point.
She said, "I am alpha. You are not. Get in line."
Get in line, kid.
No, Sophie's great. We have
Sophie is great.
I'm great. Yeah.
I used to love when you two would play together. Of course, like I said, you were the leaders of the group, but your imaginations were delightful. I loved downstairs in our basement where you would either do costume drama and you would come up with plays, or you would do the Barbies and act them out and film it with that little video camera.
And that was one thing too. So a lot of times what we did, like sometimes we had all the kids together at the 2 different houses and all, but sometimes what we would do is we would
Boys
swap
at one
kids.
house.
Right.
That's right. I
So
remember that.
there was a halfway point that she and I would drive and meet, and then we would get Sam and y'all would get Ansley, and then Sam would hang out with us. So while you
And
were
play
getting to play
games
dolls and stuff like that, I had Nerf Wars.
Well,
so
very rarely did we play dolls because Ansley wasn't a huge doll person.
No,
So it was more of
acting out and drama.
acting out drama or games or art stuff or, or I don't know, playing in the creek.
Yeah, we did
You
a
guys
lot.
would just do your bonding fun times.
And
tea
it's-
parties.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
did
yeah, we
tea
did.
parties.
Because we like to act it out. We gave ourselves Southern names.
So
we
fun.
we had some little Southern names, and we talk in Southern accents the whole time.
But then we had tons of time. Like our whole family loved going to their house.
It
and
is
so in the summer,
Single-handedly, best place on the earth.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
summer times we would spend lots of time there together, and it's so funny because to this day, when I'm driving down the driveway and I see the little pillars and I go through, I think, I'm home.
Oh, now we're all gonna cry. Thank you, Sue.
It's a special place.
Special place.
Yeah. But it's also, you guys coming made it, special. Capture the flag, volleyball games that sometimes got a little competitive. I always got accused of being the, but she gets her drama from her dad. So. Anyway, yeah. So sometimes I was acting. I wasn't really as mad as I acted, but everybody seems to, sure, if you want to say it's really
You're a
mad,
good actor.
Good actress.
and I am an authentic one.
What are some things that you have appreciated about your friendship? Because you've been friends for, I think we clocked almost 30 years.
Yeah, this
This is your 30-year anniversary year. So what are some things that you've appreciated about your friendship? What are some things that you've walked through together, maybe that are hard things about your friendship? What are things that you feel like maybe a lot of people don't know because they haven't been friends for 30 years with somebody, or they haven't done life with someone for 30 years? They don't have like generational friendship. Their kids aren't best friends. So just, yeah, what are some things?
Well, like we've already said, there's those, you start off with just fun and chatting and enjoying and connecting and finding commonalities. And then you start to realize that you have life struggles, and we oftentimes, I think our kids would get frustrated, like, you're talking about me, but again, it wasn't to everybody. It was to Sue, who knew my kids, and it was, I don't know, I cannot break them of this lying habit, or I cannot, what do I do? I need encouragement here because I'm failing as a parent, or as a wife. I remember a lot of times it was less, because relationship is hard. Mm-hmm. Any relationship, friendship, marriage. And I think what you find that sometimes is lacking, I think, in relationships, and that's why they don't last, is commitment. Mm-hmm. Because if I say, I'm going to be in a marriage because I'm in love, that's, yes, what starts it. But there are days I woke up and it was like, he frustrates me, and I know I frustrate him. And, Sue's like, but you're committed and it will pass. I'm sure there were times, because Sue and I, we have so much in common, but I'm a goofball. And she is so wise and smart. And I know there were times she was like, Lori, can we not be so silly? It was like, I don't, Sue, just let's lighten the mood a little bit, but we're committed. I'm committed to the end. I love her and love what comes with her, which is all of you. It is. You're like, you just stay committed to relationships. And, things, I think in this day and age, sometimes it's so hard to get to a place of like, yeah, maybe I am the one who's wrong and need to forgive.
And I the drama?
What?
It's a meme.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know those things. Yeah.
You just say, you have to like look out. I'll teach you. You have to like look out and you go like, am I the problem?
Okay.
Am I the drama? Am
I the problem?
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
Good.
Friendship, so then it starts to go deeper in the sense of advice can be given. And I know it's good advice. She is a counselor that has been given to me. And then sometimes, because life is life, you are given the hard things. And something we were talking about, a really hard time for both of us, but just how we walked up and she had to step up. But in 2014, I had a large lump in my throat area that a mutual doctor friend said, Laura, you got this thing. I can see it when you're swallowing. And it was on my thyroid, and the doctor was like, pretty sure it was cancer. So you get that C word. And I wasn't really fearful, but my husband and my kids, all you do is say cancer, and then people are like, so Sue comes alongside, and then I had to have surgery and recovery. And so Philip did his best, but he's still working. So Sue literally was pulled the kids, and they stayed at your house. She did food for them. She was their physical support, made sure they got to and from events, because I don't think anybody drove then. Sam, maybe?
Sam would have, and Olivia maybe
Okay.
just started too.
Mhm.
But they would come
she
to
just
your
got a
house.
couple
I mean, there
days.
were a couple of days I know that they didn't come home because I
Mhm.
think, well, I was in the hospital overnight. So anyway, but it was just, and then just the emotional support of like it's just because there's when you're kids, there's the unspoken like what's going on, So that was just a sweet moment of the gift of friendship and undergirding. Friendships undergird.
Good word.
We they're what hold us up when we can't hold ourselves, either for physical reasons or emotional reasons. And we both very close friends with family that had great loss, and which affected our family and community, and that was huge. And when I had the kids, like girls or boys, and you had girls and just trying to answer questions, and kids can't articulate often pain, and grief and frustration and not understanding why is this happening, because that's a huge thing. Like, why is this happening? And we want answers, and we're not always given answers, and how to come alongside people and support emotionally and try to do what we think is best. So, and I think about like when Russ lost his dad.
Right, that's what I was thinking of. Because let me back up a minute though and say, um, I love the fact that you bring so much fun and laughter into every situation that you're in, and so that was always, just so fun and so great. But when Russ's dad passed away, we weren't expecting it, and it was so hard, and because he was such a great guy.
Oh yeah.
And their whole family drove all the way to Richmond. So it's 4 hours away. And we were all supposed to be at a family camp that weekend. And so they drove all the way to Richmond, and they took care of our kids while we were doing, the funeral stuff and the visitation and all that. But then the power went out because there was a hurricane and that had come through. And so the power went out at the hotel they were staying in.
I remember driving in that.
Yeah, and they
Torrential
did this
rain.
beautiful job of. My kids still talk about how much fun they had because Philip had the guys doing weather forecasts through the window of the hotel.
Oh,
It was because the room was dark.
Yeah,
there
there was no
we had
lights.
us like doing green screens.
Yeah.
And I had the girls down in the pool.
Yeah, I still remember that.
We went on missions and
Why are we allowed to swim in the pool with
The power
in
went
a
out.
hurricane? And like, that seems a little,
I mean, it was an indoor pool, I guess.
It's a
But
hotel.
it went and the pool was in a big like atrium.
right,
Yeah.
It's very light.
Because that's what I remember is swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Phil and Laur.
Yeah. So that was amazing. I mean, it helped so much. I mean, that was such
And
a
you
hard
still
time.
have.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, her.
yeah. I still like this.
Like what?
Okay, so the day that we buried Russ's dad, Lori found this little ring in the parking lot, and she gave it to me, and it was like at a place where there was no way we were going to be able to figure out
Like yeah,
who
it was in a
belonged
parking
to.
lot way out.
Yeah, and so so I just started wearing it that day because it just reminded me of her and of how much the friendship had meant. And
And it's
Um,
actually
a friendship ring.
It is, and Mom never takes it off.
no, I don't ever take it off. I'll tell you this. This is kind
Yeah.
of funny. The only time I don't know if I should say this.
Dude.
The only time I took it off was I had to have that one colonoscopy. And so they would not let me keep my rings on, my
I
wedding band or
know.
anything. And I was
Are you
like,
afraid because it's gonna swell?
Yes, but I never had my wedding band off at that point, and I had not taken this one off since
Wow.
his dad passed away in 2006. But it was so funny because as I was coming from the anesthesia, when I finally got awake enough to realize what was going on, the nurse came in and said, "It's okay, honey," and we made sure you got your rings back because that's the first thing you started asking for as soon as you woke up. Is, where are my rings? I've got to have my rings. And so she looked at both of the bands and she was like, all they are is little bands. I don't quite understand the attachment. I was like, but they're my
weeks. This was for my husband. This was for my best friend. The power of the ring.
Carry it, but I can carry you. That's been our theme.
That's so true.
That's right. That's our theme.
We actually wrote letters. Remember,
Yeah.
I don't know when you were last,
Yeah.
I would either address it Frodo or Sam and sign it Frodo or Sam.
Talk about a torrential moment in the friendship. We talked about that with Alaska. We were like,
Alaska was, because I remember when we came to visit, so a family took Sophie to come see you because they knew that you guys, but then Elwyn and I came up.
Yeah.
Russ surprised Sue on one birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was hard because something was off. And I think we talked about it right before I left, but it was I'm missing, this is reminding us how much we missed each other. And so it was kind of like, it was just, but it was sweet.
And that
But it was that moment when you're going, we are gonna go the distance, in the sense of like, distance is not going to keep us from being close friends, but it almost took the distance and bringing us together. But it's like, you know what? We don't talk every day. We don't see each other. We may not know exactly the daily lives anymore. We miss each other. And so it was almost like, wow, why are we wasting our time right now? Because we're going, but I want this more, and I don't know. It was just,
because distance is hard.
it is
On
hard.
friendships, y'all know that. Y'all have a lot of distance between you right now, and it takes intentionality. You've got to. You
Good word,
can't
good
just
word.
wait for it to happen. You've got to plan, and you've got to say, okay, this is how we're going to stay in touch, and this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to make sure of, and now we don't live in the same town anymore, so we do live. It's not that far away, it's only 2.5 hours, but it takes, again, intentionality. But we know that even when time has passed and there's distance physically, we know the commitment is there. So we know that no matter what, we're just going to pick right back up where we left off.
And Sue and I, that just because of where we are in our lives right now, we're both pretty busy. And you'd never think that having no children at home, you'd be so busy. But
Yeah.
anyway, but I would say, every 2-3 months, we'll plan a phone date. And I'm not exaggerating, 4 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
that tracks.
Legitness.
Because we still have a landline. Do you people know what landline is?
Do you even know?
Do you know what a landline is? Anyway, and this phone is probably as old as our friendship.
Yeah.
And I go to hang up, and it shows you how long you've been on the phone. And I think our last one was like 4:08. Philip treated me some years for a birthday, and I had a little headset so I could still do things while I'm on the phone. But because I am a person that talks a lot with my hands, I spend most of those 4 hours standing in the kitchen going, I did nothing but talk to my friend.
It's on the calendar. Next thing, what is something that you would like to do in the future of your friendship? Or do we have any hopes, dreams, goals?
I think
New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution.
why haven't we done this? For the longest time, we talked about like renting a beach house or a cabin and the families. And we just, and I think maybe just because it was easier, cheaper, just do it at someone's house or Camp Bethel. But they, but that is something I know the last time we were together, Russ mentioned also that we just needed the 4 of us or another couple join us and we go somewhere.
Yeah.
Of course, the big dream would be to like go to Europe.
You guys should go to Italy. You guys should.
Wait, you guys could like go in our footsteps?
You guys did Rome, Florence, Venice, went to the same places.
But you're not allowed to take, what is it? Was it a steamer or a
Whatever.
No steamers allowed.
Whatever. You didn't hear that story? Fake fan. I put the power out in our hotel.
Okay, I do know that. I am a big time chitter because Spotify end of 2005 told me that my #1 podcast was so.
We should have
I am the top 10%.
That's right. Me too. Me too.
So there we go.
Wow.
Of
Big
course.
time
You know,
chitters.
I have not missed an episode.
Stop.
Yeah.
Quit it.
And I'm actually the one who tells your dad, you know, a new episode's out.
Yep.
Get in there. Get
Okay,
with
so we want to go to Italy. We want, but maybe we want. Why don't we start small? Go to
Yeah.
an art museum together. Is that
Yeah,
something?
like, you know, because, yeah, we could pick a museum and meet and go for the weekend, like
There
New
you go.
York,
Oh
Metropolitan.
yeah.
What's so funny is some of my fun memories in the past few years, like we went to a retreat one time together, but some of my most fun memories are being in the car because we worked out this great
So
system
true.
because
We
I
do.
like to drive.
And I
She
don't.
does not like to drive. She likes to knit while she's riding in the car, and so it works out beautifully. And
The
so
hilarious
we're traveling
thing.
along, and she's knitting, and I'm driving.
I know I'm
and-
not. I'm sitting there driving with her.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Okay, now take it back. She's got her needlework in her hand,
But I never do it.
I wish we would have. The one thing I'm sad is we should have like had a game that we
That
could
was
play.
play with them.
Yeah, of like how well
Next
do
time.
you know your or something.
Ooh, wait.
You know what? I
Next
could
time.
have brought my How Well Do You Know Your Family?
Yeah,
game.
I have it in my backpack. Should we ask one question each?
We asked one question. Also, this is really cute. I like
Thank
this little
you.
blood
I stole it
pocket.
from Elwin.
Ooh,
I
tracks.
love doing it now. Like it's such a
Stealing
it,
something from
like
Ellen.
sometimes I don't even like them, like the clothes, and I'm just like I have to take this from you because you took so many from me. Like younger sisters stealing all my clothes. Now
Yep.
it's like it's my
Reverse.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay.
What top do I wear most often?
Do we have to like buzz in, or do we just say what we
You
think?
just say it.
Do we know it?
Yeah, I think you all would know it. You've seen it many a time.
This is
Dr.
like
Russ's.
talk. Oh, your crop top. Is it one of your
Yes.
crop tops? What color is your crop top? You have a bunch of them. I
Yeah,
guess.
Dr. Russ, they
all the time.
Where's
Where's the rest of your shirt?
Did you say good buddies?
This shows my downfall. People will be like, "Didn't you see them? They were wearing this." I'm like, "No, I don't." know
She
what you're
sees
talking
you for your heart.
about." True.
It's the orange one. That
Yeah,
bright orange
bright
top.
orange crop
I
top.
love that. I wear that all the time.
And didn't you get some of your headshots done in that one?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah, that's
All
right.
right.
okay.
That's
All
right.
righty, it's like,
Okay, this is my first one. What cheers me up when I am grumpy?
A hot cup of tea,
True. Facts.
a good book,
a
Also
good
facts.
song.
Yeah.
yummy food, like a cold
True. Usually, because I feel like usually if I'm grumpy, I think it's two things why I'm usually grumpy. Snack and a hug. Nope.
No, a walk. You want to
Nope.
go out and
Nope.
Quality time.
No.
with friends.
A snack if I'm grumpy.
If you're grumpy.
tired.
Yes,
Yeah.
snack and a nap, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Snack and a
It's
nap.
basic.
It's basic. If
Usually
I'm
we've
grumpy,
made her
if I'm
grumpy.
like sad, I think quality time. But if I'm grumpy,
It's
I
super
think
sweet.
it's food and sleep, which maybe it's for everyone. But I think
Not
if I'm
always.
grumpy, snack and a nap.
You can be frustrated.
That's mine.
All right, Sue, you got a question?
Let's just do this one. This is fun. What's the weirdest food I have ever eaten?
Oh,
Crocodile.
I'd say monkey brains.
She's talking about whenever we took our kids on a bunch of international mission trips and stuff. And when we would go, we would, like, for the month before we went, we would practice with them and we would say, anything they put in front of you, you need to eat it and say thank you, unless it's monkey brains. If it's anything monkey
one
brains or
thing.
worse, you don't have to eat it. But I always
okay.
I did always tell them, yeah, you would say, gracias, senora, for the monkey brains.
And the reason why is because the first place we ever went was Belize.
Yeah.
So that's why we
Yeah.
did it in Spanish, is we were practicing Spanish. So that was like our phrase, gracias, señorita, for the monkey brains.
Right.
That was like, which
And-
wasn't even all in Spanish, so I don't know.
But I always promised them that at home, wherever home was for us at the moment, that I would always have peanut butter and something to put it on. So they'd be able to have food to eat when they got back, but they had to try everything. But
I'm going to go smooth stomach soup. I'm going to go with that.
Yep.
Mom had to eat that in Alaska, and it was not.
what do you mean? They fill the stomach with soup?
They make soup.
From the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they are amazing. They really do still the Native Americans are still use every
Every part.
bit of the moose. when
Moose
they-
stomach soup. Shout out.
Okay, what is my dream job?
A grandma. Do we count that?
That
that
would
it?
probably be. I'm kind of like you. Oh, that would be good too.
Okay, I don't know if you would say this is a dream job.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know how I want to phrase this because I feel like your dream, like, you just like you like your craft. So I'm like, I could see you doing something with art. Like, if there was no pressure, like, you could just
And, like
explore
making money on Etsy,
right?
Yeah.
Like, or
That's
just
true, and that-
something in your sewing room, like,
No, yeah,
like on Etsy, yeah.
Yeah, because the first thing I thought of was I think you all have done and are doing two of your favorite jobs, which
True.
is teaching the Bible to
Teaching.
children and teaching art to kids.
Right,
And
teaching.
giving
Right.
them
Teaching.
that love of it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
She's a teacher.
That was what? That's it?
Sure. That's
What was your other answer?
It was kind of the, dream job. So, if you're going something I'm not doing, but yeah, because I really thought I had a hard time because I am doing my dream job.
Oh.
But I have always, people are like, oh, you need to sell stuff on Etsy. Part of it is because I can't charge for my stuff. I'm too slow. But the dream job would be like people would pay to get my stuff.
What is my favorite thing to snack on? I'll accept a couple of answers, I guess.
Is sushi a snack? Does that count as a snack?
No.
No.
more-
Okay. Well, I don't know if this is a snack either. Cookie butter ice cream Trader Joe's. That's always in your
That
freezer.
could be
That's not a snack.
a right answer.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not the one that was thought of.
Another snack. You like salty
Salsa.
snacks.
When I say this to you, you're gonna be like, "Ow!" Hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What?
What?
Your Takis. Your
No.
Takis super hottie thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takis and hot Cheetos. I love them.
That's funny because I'm like, I don't think I would have pegged that. I'm thinking of like, what do you have like in your car or something?
Oh,
I don't know.
nothing.
Or
I
like,
just
what would you
starve.
snack on? Because I feel like most of the time, if you were snacking on something when we lived here, it was like real food. Not that that's, but you know, it
I
was
like cheese and
chips.
crackers.
Right, like it was usually like cheese and meats.
I got Zach on this. I love to do, it's my favorite snack actually. So you're kind of right. Is I get a bunch of cold cuts and I get a block of mozzarella and a hunk of French loaf and I just like
Yeah, right, okay.
shove it full of oil and vinegar.
Well, I do know my answer to this. Who is my favorite singer? I don't know if anyone's gonna know this, actually. I'm nervous.
Is it the guy who sings the Wild Time? Jacob. Is his name Jacob? The guy who did the.
Oh, I do. Jacob Collier. I would say he's my favorite singer, but he's one of my favorite musicians because he's just like stupid
gifted.
talented. So gifted.
Yeah.
I'm
Can you
obsessed
tell us if
with
it's a
it.
guy or a girl?
It's a guy,
Okay.
and it's classical. Does that help you? It's not modern.
Singer.
Yeah.
Stevie
Is
Wonder.
it isn't
Oh, I do
Pavarotti.
love Stevie Wonder. It's who?
Oh, Stevie
Who'd you say?
Wonder
Who'd you
is
say?
Pavarotti.
Yeah. That's
Called
probably
who?
If we're talking about my
Pavarotti.
favorite singer, like I think has the best voice of all time, it's Pavarotti. I love him. Wow, good job. I was like, I don't know. I was like, is someone gonna get this?
What is the best advice I was ever given?
Oh, this is what I think. I don't know if this is advice per se.
I got a bunch of them.
One of mine is this goes with the episode actually.
Yeah.
A true friend knows the song in your heart and will sing it back to you when you forget the words.
That is a cross stitch for
You guys have gotten free now.
I didn't make that up. I
No,
said
she
that
did.
one time on assignment. I thought, oh my word, that is
So mom says that a lot. That's a
And
big.
that is actually so spot on for you.
So spot on.
You're welcome.
It was
Knowledge
a cross
chitters.
between that and then the other one that I love.
Wait, do we get to guess?
Oh, sorry.
No one's gonna guess.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
Yes.
See, now I would say, because I think it may have been you who gave it. So sometimes, the advice that we give is the advice that we got.
It's okay.
And so a real friend, a true friend, tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Another good one.
Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. Okay, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was just going to say, I've got a bunch of them that I love. And I didn't make up, I mean, it's just ones I've gathered along the way. But the other one is don't have conversations in.
Oh,
Oh, yes. No, I'm not kidding you. Sue told me, there's so many, you know what, now that I think about it, so many of the things I do say to people, and actually that one, though, you do get name credit for that.
as Miss Sue would say.
As the great wide sage.
The Sage Sue. I think if you were going to be an alliteration name, Sage Sue.
You ready for this? That was one of my cards. What one word describes you?
Ooh.
Sage would be.
I think Sage probably.
Yes.
Okay, what's your last question?
Okay, my last one. What? And now this is another. I picked pretty easy. What is my favorite hobby?
Knitting?
Crafting. I'd say crafting.
But let's have one little.
Oh, watching movies.
Watching movies and knitting, together, because I'm not having to talk, so I can really knit and just watching. Yes,
Watching
great stuff.
movies, yeah.
But I also I do love
Walking.
outdoors,
You love walking. You
I
love a
love-
walk.
Are we ready?
Ready. So that's all.
So
And out! Yay! We did it! Thanks so much, guys.
there's you did a great job. I just think there's enough information. Oh, yeah. Thank you for testing.
She did.